Today's the last day of the Shashin tour and I'm going to show you loads and loads of different temples, some lovebirds at a temple, fill flash at a temple, how to balance indoor and outdoor light balance, a Buddha's head in a tree, composition tips, a cutest little baby, a huge golden Buddha and some outdoor shots, as well as some more underwater tests with the Pentax Optio. Okay, so we've arrived at Ayutthaya at one of the Wats. Yai Mungung, apparently. And you can see my camera's still fogging up. It was an hour ride to get here, but certainly worth it, and I did fall asleep. This guy looks like he's placing gifts to the Buddha. He just brought over a lotus flower and he's sticking some things to it. It seems like couples shirts are quite popular in this part of the world. That rain as we were leaving the hotel has well and truly cleared. It's a gorgeous sunny day today. And this is the first area that we're stopping at. I think there's a lot of temples in this old area. And the tiniest dog I've ever seen. Hello. Let me show you a bit of scale. Here's my head. Hello. Look at the size of it. Oh. So cute. Now, given this outdoor area is quite glary, it's only 7:30 in the morning, but it's going to just get glarier. I'm just going to pop on my circular polarizer to try and cut that a little. Let's give it a little rotate. Yeah, that looks good. You see the monk using a hyper zoom point and shoot. You might have picked that up on Monk Monday, I reckon. It's now Tourist Tuesday, so that would make sense. Okay, heading on through, it seems there's quite a few attractions at this old set of temples. I think I prefer this more than the fully golden gilded ones, or whatever it's called. There's something incredibly cool about a monk in sunglasses, I don't know why. I'm sure it helped that our guide Anik practices the religion and has strong ties to the community, having done a lot of pro bono work for different temples, but they were all just so willing and helpful to share the story of the temple and pose for photographs. It was just a treat. Now I don't have a super wide on, so I want to come around the back here and see if I can get a shot with the line of Buddhas along the side, plus the temple all in one shot by shooting from out here on this external plinth. Maybe. And because this front guy is so much darker than the rest, I'll just use my little inboard to give him a pop of light and see if we can bring him up a bit. To be honest, it's rare instances that I need the onboard pop-up flash other than commanding the flash units, but having that is really handy as compared to, say, the D4 or even the 5D Mark II. It can be handy to be able to just put that extra little bit of fill in if you don't have an external flash with you. I guess I ought to give that a shot. Pracheti Chai Mongol. Pracheti Chai Mongol. Now, all around the sides of this temple are dozens and dozens, maybe over 100 of these smaller Buddhas. I have no idea what this sign says, but maybe one of our Thai viewers can enlighten us all. I'm guessing maybe it's from donors or family of donors who've passed away as kind of a recognition of their support of the temple, because a lot of the temples had that kind of thing. Another set of different Buddhas worshipping Buddha. It's all quite confusing. I can't tell, is there one Buddha or lots of Buddhas? Now, this is actually the kind of heat that I can really tolerate. It's bloody hot, but there's no humidity relative to the last week. It's just like you'd get in an Australian summer. The kind of day where you're going to get a tan, but you feel it coming, and, you know, it's hot, but you step out into the shade and then it's instantly comfortable again. But at any stage, it'll start pissing down with rain again, and the humidity will be back. It is only about 8 a.m. still. Really pretty green and red flowers here. I'll just give you a close-up. And then the palms are just quite stunning too, the way they fan out. I guess they've been grown custom to kind of give an impressive entrance. Okay, we're rushing from one temple to the next because that beautiful blue sky isn't going to last too long. Get as many in as we can before it's time to go and lay down and have a little nap like this overworked dog. Okay, we're inside another one now, where you can buy all the offerings, and then heading through, the guys have brought the wireless, what is this, 200 watts? 480 watts. 480 watt wireless battery included strobes. Looks like a loud hailer. Yeah, good one. Okay, let's just get it in focus. Wireless studio flash. Okay, from nice photo. So we're going to use that in here to light up something. I'm guessing a Buddha. These places love their Buddhas. Surprising, that is Buddhist temples. And it must be very hot in here. Everyone's coming out sweating. Uh-huh. Far out. Damn. Okay, so Annick's having a little shot here while Sanya's got the strobe in there. I'll get a shot on mine as well for you and show you one with and one without. Looking good? Nope. Okay, bit of tweaking needed. Okay, now there's the first shot with no extra fill. The second shot, you can see it's added a lot, quite frontal. Ideally, you would use 2 at least of these flash units to eliminate that second shadow, have a second one coming in from the right-hand side as well, and you'd balance the colour of them. But on the day, we just had the one. This guy reminds me of that monkey we saw the other day. More bananas. And just outside, we're still on the river. So much of Bangkok is built along the rivers, especially the old stuff. Gong, gong. Just scared the crap out of me. I was walking around and had my back to a statue and turned around to find it's not a statue, it's a monk sitting there that I thought was a statue. Oops. Okay, so they're throwing up robes and they're gonna dress him.
Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because there was only one flash and one sender, one person was using it, everyone else using a half-second exposure and trying to time their shot to catch the light, and it pretty much worked. Wow, they take their donations really seriously here. They're actually full-on safes that they've just, well, they can't be too safe. They've managed to cut a big hole in the top of them so you can put your money in, and then it's a combination bank vault to get into it. Here we are, another temple, and as you can see, it's just so freaking glary now. It may still look okay with the polarizer, but the best of the light has passed us already. That's underexposed by a full stop to get it down to that. There we are at no exposure comp. Cheeky little lizard there in the center frame. Oh, there he goes. Please do not climb up the monuments. Or just do whatever you bloody want, it seems. Little bit of info here for you guys. You might want to pause on this one so you can see what this is all about. For all you D7000 owners out here, one of the shooters on this team just got a thing that's come up with a, well, it's looking weird on this, but a perfectly pink screen, and then the next one's a perfectly green screen. I don't know why it's showing that black line. It's not showing up to the eye. And then it's got error flashing on the top. It's a little bit unusual. I assume you've turned it off and on again?
Yeah.
And you changed the card already?
Oh, I've got to change the card.
Maybe you changed one of the cards, yeah? Maybe it's the other card. Are you doing RAW to one and JPEG to the other, or?
Just using the other as a backup.
Uh-huh. So yeah, maybe take out both the cards and then just see if it's still flashing error. Yeah, it is. Okay. The only other thing would be turn it right off, take the lens off and on. Maybe something mechanical got jammed. Yeah. Doesn't give an actual error message though, just error.
Just error.
To be continued. Okay, now this is by no means a technical solution, but taking the lens off and back on again, taking the battery completely out, it was still flashing error. Then he took a couple of shots and it did let him take the shots, and now the error message has gone. So not ideal, and if it's still under warranty, I'd probably, when you get back, take it to Nikon, but yeah, they do sometimes have little gremlins, but that's an odd one. Not fun. Yeah, we spoke too soon, error message came back, and this time came up with a beautiful Venetian blind type effect. It must be a sensor issue if you're getting 3 different coloured screens coming up. I don't think it would just be a battery thing because, yeah, the sensor's capturing craziness. Mr. Nikon, why are you doing this? This is not good. We're 2 of only 3 Nikon shooters on this trip. We can't have one of the cameras go down. Hello. Nice Nikon. Which one is this one? Oh, very good. D90.
Okay. Okay.
800.
Oh. To Nikon như Okay. Nikon and Nikon.
Yeah, is that okay? Let's get a photo.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
No longer.
A lot of the postcards on display here. Point out which ones were taken by Boomy, the first tour guide who had to leave us.
This, I think also Bunmi. Several Bunmi. This, most of this Bunmi. See the name.
Yeah, I saw this one.
Bunmi for sure.
And he took these. Who's he sell them through? Is that his company, or he sells them to the postcard company?
Postcard.
Oh, well, I won't buy one. I'll just email him and ask for a copy, huh?
You can.
Now, I know this is creepy to chase it down, but I just spotted this kid in the distance. That's the cutest baby I've ever seen, so I got to run up after them. Oh, so cute. Oh, so cute. Hello. Hello. Aren't you cute? What's her name? Kasawai. Hello. Oh, look at your big dribble. Hello. Hello. Of course, it's necessary for this kind of work, but not the kind of day that you want to be dressed up in all kinds of protective gear. This guy using a motorbike helmet for face protection because he doesn't have a mask. I'm hot in t-shirt, shorts and thongs. Poor guys. They really don't want you to walk on the grass here. Barbed wire fences. Going out to well, I thought it was indoor, but it looks like it's going to be an outdoor temple with the tree roots growing over sections of it. It's quite lovely here. You can see how extremely glary the day is. Okay, so this is pretty special. The trees have grown over this old Buddha. It looks, you know, like when you pop something in when something's growing and then it's on purposely engulfed, but this one apparently just sort of happened by chance. This gives you a bit of an idea of what the Buddhas are actually made of. You can see that one where the top has fallen off is actually a structure of bricks. It was then covered with, you know, concrete or some kind of render, whereas the one on the right are solid slabs of carved rock. This is the Leaning Tower of Wat Tamaha, which I've probably mispronounced, but that looks like it's got a few more generations till it falls over. Another one you can take a quick pause of, Wat Mahatat. I've got to say, whilst I love the Thai dishes I've been having here, a hell of a lot of it is deep fried. They do a good job of it, but for someone who tries to avoid eating anything that's too oily, it does make it a little bit difficult at times, especially when it's hard to express to say you don't want deep fried. Off the side of the road behind a couple of street stalls was this place, quite a surprise. Loads of wood paneling and just a little bit fancy. Okay, so we had prawn vermicelli hot pot. Those are deep fried mushrooms. People are dipping a couple of salads, Thai fish cakes. A lot of different restaurants have their own style of fish cakes, as well as some of the house specialty desserts, which are mainly made of coconut. Back at another temple, and the sun's just gone behind the cloud, making the unbearable brightness and glare bearable. It's a great time to get some shots of this temple or what with the sky behind it. We can get some saturation in the sky. This looks like a decent angle, huh? That's a 24mm standing up on the edge. In this kind of a room on a close-up, using a custom white balance, you can get a nicer colour on it. I'll take two here and show you the difference as JPEG straight from camera. Okay, same exposure and everything like that. This first one was auto white balance. This next one was custom at 4200K. You can see it just shines. Whilst these murals are beautifully done and look quite three-dimensional, in this one the ceiling is really different and is three-dimensional. Let's get a close-up. Beautiful. And here's the room without all of those chandelier lights on. Fortunately, the guide Anik has done a lot of shooting here before for the temple, so he knew where all the power switches were to turn them on for us. This one's obviously off the tourist track because there's no tourists here. The other ones were just getting packed with guided groups, and this one there was just a couple of locals praying, but otherwise there's no one else here. Except for us annoying tourists, but you know. Now we're not doing a strobo setup here, but you can see the amount of light it would take to balance the outdoor and indoor. They're exposed for the outdoor at zero compensation, and to bring up the inside, well, we're almost there at 3 stops over, but the outside's completely gone, so you would need a lot of watts to bring that up. Here's another example of composition. So I'm quite interested in this stone here, but you can see even at 2.8 the background's quite cluttered. However, getting down really nice and low and getting a viewpoint looking up, we can exclude a lot of that. Let's get a shot. Okay, so with the large depth of field, it's just cluttered. It doesn't stand out at all. There at 2.8, you can blur the background out pretty nicely, but here laying on the ground, shooting up, you can get a really nice perspective on it. So try out different angles. So as we left the last temple heading here, he was saying, our tour guide was saying that he was bringing us to a tiny, tiny little Buddha. He's so clever with his tricks. Like, he'll tell us we're going to a terrible restaurant and it'll be the most famous Thai restaurant in the country. So I was asking, is the Buddha as big as Pukpa, that cute little nun that we saw the other day? And I think it's fair to say, yes, it's as big as Pukpa, or maybe a few tens of thousands of times bigger. Man, look at this place. The dragons, that's like a theme park. This is if Disney made a Buddhist temple. Water features, giant lotus, cut hedges. Even the grass is flaming hot. God, I'm so glad I've got 30 plus on today. To get the shot I need though, I need to be standing in this water, so let's just step in. And sorry to put you sideways, but that's about the frame I'm looking at. I actually ended up going with the horizontal anyway. Oops. This big boy really deserves a super wide angle, so let's go in and get some interesting angles on him. Here up super close, super wide, using the dragon's head to obliterate the sun, and at a huge F number so you can really see the dust spots coming in on my sensor. And here a guy fixing up the paintwork just to give a bit of perspective and size on it. Okay, right now it's about as glary as I've ever shot in, is just mental. So that's without using a polarizer, and in video, let's pop this on. You can see the glare coming in and out off the metal and what the effect that's having on the video. So rewind it 10 seconds and you can see how it was without it. Okay, now generally I would recommend staying, around f10, f11, but when you're shooting with this much reflected light, there's just white marble, shiny metal, and then the Buddha and the really intense sky. There's so much reflected light, it's worth shooting at a larger F number, especially when shooting into the sun like this. You're fighting the sun, block it down, F16 or something like that, and you will get a little bit of diffraction, but it won't make too much of a difference. The image will end up nicer, I think, at those high F numbers. One of the guys on the tour just pointed out at the gate, it looks like the back of a zombie, or a zombie mixed with one of those animals from Avatar, the movie. Yeah, I don't know how that really fits in with the whole Buddhism thing. There's some nice yellow flowers over here, so we're going to go behind them, have them as a foreground to the Buddha. It's kind of perfect weather despite the 40-degree tag on it. It's probably about 100 F. This is quite good, but I think darker, and I'm going to go right in amongst the flowers. Something like that. Just noticed there's a little creepy crawly on this front branch as well that I can get in the foreground. Okay, that's enough for me. I'm headed back to the bus. Whew, it's hot today. Got the waterworks going on today. Actually, I just realized I had the Auto DX crop on, and that means I'm down at 15 megapixels, so I'm just going back out. As you see here, when I zoom to about 15 mil, I've got full frame coverage, so I want to get a full 36 megapixel on this scene. I just wiped my face and arms with my shirt because I was sweating so much, and my shirt turned white. I think I've just sweated out all my sunscreen. We stopped to get a shot of the Buddha and its reflection in the water, and look who's stolen the best view in the whole place. Hey puppy! Can't see you, where are you? There you are. Okay, so I was about to let you guys know that I'm heading down to the pool to test out the Optio Pentax underwater for some shots. I was going to film that on my D50-100, but it seems like it's a day for it with our Nikons. After the other guy's 7000 got an error, now my 5100 has developed an error trying to do anything, and the shutter has gotten caught. Let's see if we can refocus there. Yeah, there you go. So it won't release. So it's a little bit stuck, so my go-to video camera is knackered at the moment. Turning it off and on doesn't do anything. Yeah, let's see what happens with that one. But for now, let's go to the pool. Okay, at the pool now, and this camera has a standard movie mode that I'm using now, and it has an underwater movie mode and an underwater photo mode. So let's test out both of them. Okay, so this is actually using the underwater video mode now. Let's chuck it in. Chlorine's really strong in this pool. My ears have just cleared, so hopefully the mic has too. I'll find a model who's willing to be photographed or photograph myself, and let's try out the underwater photo capabilities of this one, how it actually focuses. Here are a couple of shots. I haven't adjusted the sharpening, contrast, color, anything like that. This is as they came from the camera, just watermarked. Alright, we're going to use the auto timer and drop the camera on the bottom of the pool and get some shots looking down through this buoy to see how it looks. We'll get one inside and then one out in the sun. Okay, we look like pretty much like mental cases here, but anyway, that's the indoors one there.
Alright, last night of the tour. We're back in the hotel in the middle of Bangkok, heading off for dinner. I'm hoping to get everyone to get some shots and see if I can get one of the guys to miss their plane in the morning. And that'll be it for this Shashin Photos tour. So let's go on to dinner.
So we had a lovely Vietnamese / Cantonese style meal to finish off the night with some barbecued delicacies from Hong Kong style food, pork and bitter melon soup, and a beautiful steamed fish. Then we headed off to a pub, and it was actually a London themed pub, and it was just nice, really chilled out last night to the tour. A couple of the guys were leaving really early the next morning, so it wasn't anything too full on, but just a great night. Live music, few beers, good mates, lovely. Thanks for joining me on this tour, guys. I'll be keeping up the blogs for the rest of my trip, but that's the end of the Shashin Photos Sangkhalburi tour. Really enjoyed myself. 10 days of great photography with great people. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for all your comments and being on board. If you've liked this, please subscribe and feel free to share it around with your friends, and I'll see you very soon. Off to Vietnam in the next couple of days.